link on the chat right now. I mean, SAP has made a lot of progress in the last 3-4 years as far as our contribution to the digital transformation of customers is concerned. And of course, a lot of you would be aware about our digital transformation journey through S/4HANA and a lot of line of business applications itself. Now, once you have got a heterogeneous landscape like that, there is a need for having a digital platform that can make sense of all these applications in terms of integrating these applications, bringing in data from multiple applications, etc. And that is where the entire concept of SAP Cloud Platform came into existence, which helps our customers to extend any application, to customize an application, to even mobilize an application, and to use a lot of new age innovative services which you can really adopt from the perspective of really moving to the bimodal IT, as Gartner explains it. And today's topic of discussion is exactly about that, the conversational AI topic, which is more commonly known in the market as chatbot. SAP has a slightly different and an expansive approach towards chatbot, where we say it is not only about a bot that responds to your queries, it should be intelligent enough to understand the context and should be able to integrate with the backend system, SAP or non-SAP, on-prem or cloud, doesn't matter, and should be able to give you the response so that you could actually close the loop on a business process with a lot of efficiency. And that's the whole context. The chatbot is no more a fancy thing. It is about using the NLP engine and AI engine to help the businesses run faster and in a more efficient manner. And to talk more about that, I invite my colleague Sergey from our partner team Skybuffer, and he will take you through the context and the kind of exciting stuff we are doing together to help you in this journey, and he will show some cool demos as well. So with that, over to you, Sergey.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you can hear me well. So my name is Sergey Tikhanenko from Skybuffer, SAP Gold Partner, and I will guide you a little bit today through like a platform, and mostly talking about like a business cases and capabilities of the platform, and less like a technical things that might be like let's say too boring, or let's say the same for some platforms as well. So let me share my screen. Right. So now you see my presentation. So and yeah, I have like a remote camera today. So because I will try to show you like some kind of like a nice demos, like a chat demo, like a voice enabled demo. So you will see and you will get like a nice like business cases of how it can be utilized, how you can use it actually, but not like a play with this. So we will not give you just a Lego, so we will also give you some instructions that you can assemble it in a right and proper way. So today's presentation name is like Intelligent Decision Dimensions. So that's like a SAP conversational AI platform that provides you like a business value, that provides actually a business value to like your business users where they are currently, because they are not so often, let's say, on their desk, so they are on the mobile devices. They're somewhere on the edge where definitely SAP GUI might not be accessible. And even SAP GUI now is like not the best way you can get an access to SAP information and to other even third-party system information as well. So let me start, please. And I will not start from a company or a product or a platform. So I will just start from the trends that you probably already aware that our world is turning to be conversational. And it's not me, of course, who said it. So, but you can see that messaging platform is like new operational systems now. It doesn't matter so which mobile phone you're using, doesn't matter which PC you are using, you are chatting. You are chatting daily, and that's how you get information. That's how you share information. That's how you actually like request information or support. And let's see what we are doing and how we get actually our conversational user experience. So first of all, what matters is like a messaging platform, as I mentioned. So you chat to your friends, you chat to your colleagues, you chat to your businesses. When you chat to businesses, so many examples like KLM Airlines, if your flight is canceled and you would like to rebook with priority, you need to go to social networks or chats. You can't call them. So you chat with your friends for sure, you can use like a Skype or Telegram, but in the same way to get a customer support, you might use like Telegram channel as well. And of course, like on your daily work, you chat with your colleagues as well, just like requesting some information and getting it in a fast way. Even the information you can search by yourself, but you understand and you know that your colleague of yours might get like the better insight of this information and give it to you faster. And in this case, we can see that like a growing number of conversational user experience, like a business cases, move us, let's say, to the area where those conversation experience should be intelligent. Means you like to have someone for repeated requests to be presented 24/7, and it should be like knowledgeable enough, and it should be smart enough and humanized enough to talk to you like humans do. And in this case, we have like a conversational platforms that for sure, like a lot of them on the market, like Google has their platform, German Rossicom has their platform, Amazon, H2, and others, and SAP also has their platform. And that's like a differences for sure between all of them. And what we will try to show today and what we'll try to explain today from capabilities perspective, that for instance, SAP platform, why in person I like it? So because I use like all the platforms, at least you can see on this slide. So what I like in SAP platform, that it has almost no gap between developers and between business consultants and business users. Means it's not a platform developed by developers for developers like most of the platforms, where you definitely need to have like an army of developers. You explain like what artificial intelligence dialogues you like to have, and they try to code it. So SAP platform, the biggest difference, it allows you like in a very, very easy and user-friendly way to define your dialogues, to define your skills, to define your intents, to train your chatbot. And you even can ask power business users to make it. So then you have no gap. So then you have faster implementation. Then you have a tool that allows you to easily adjust to like the logic on the platform or like a type of messages you have. You don't need to go to JavaScript. You don't need to go to Python. You have this tool already available for you, for your business, for your consultants. And that allows you, of course, to implement faster, to run faster, to get like a better values for the like amount of money you invest, for instance, for intelligent dialogues. And let's see why actually do you need it. So there were so many business cases. I will just put some of them like on this slide. So the first of all, for sure, is like a customer support service. Like you have a growing number of customers that are coming with common questions, and that for sure, like you can use like increasing like for the first and second line support to answer those questions, but lots of repeated questions you like to automate. And that's a good common cases for implementation of conversational AI. So where a chatbot try to help actually your customer before route them to the first line support. It doesn't mean like a separate, they're working together. So it's possible to communicate those to actually configure and plug those two channels together. So also your employees. So because the number of the volume of information is growing, and your employees, so they need more and more time to get proper data out of the system. And for sure, like you have like a nice, if we are talking about SAP, you have a nice GUI, you have Fiori, you have business client, well, some old enterprise portal. And you can imagine, and you can even feel, because you use it by yourself, how many transactions, how many applications, how many other ways available to get like a proper information, and you need to remember them, or you need to know how to search it. And of course, like your request in your head sounds the same all the time. So then why not to ask it like in a digital assistant? So why not to chart something? Why not to say, I have a customer and I would like to create a sales order, but please let's check a credit limit. And then you get an answer that credit limit is like a 300,000 and like 100,000 is used. So you still have 200,000, for instance. And then you can decide, okay, so can I open like a sales order? Or should I wait unless my own invoices are paid? So, and of course, if you will go to SAP and open like transaction for sales order, for customer check, for customer master, so you can get this information, but you need to remember, you need to know how to search it. However, your question in your head sounds the same all the time. And of course, like if you have like information and you manage it with a digital assistant, you even can discover like a hidden insights. And hidden insights size, in a big data, in a like big volume of information, it always means value. Value for your employees, value for your company, value for your business partners and customers. So in case you can catch this value for the data that you already have, then definitely have additional benefits. And business partners, they are also coming to you. So they would like to check their invoice status. They would like to check their service entry sheet status. So they would like to request some more information or provide a bid, for instance. And you have like a financial department, you have sales department, you have controlling department that communicate to them on a daily basis for the same common questions. So what you can do, you can ask them to keep communicating in a voice-enabled channel or in a text-enabled channel, but they can do it by themselves. No need to provide like an invoice status always over phone or like a Skype for Business or like Slack channel with a physical person inside this like a workplace. Because that's a repeated question. You can easily automate it. And that's why you actually need and use conversational platforms. What can SAP provide to you compared to other platforms? First of all, it's like faster and smarter. So the NLP is faster and smarter, like natural language processing is better. So if you will take the same utterance that is coming from your user, either from your partner or from your internal employee or from your customer, so the same utterance will be processed differently in different platforms. Means you can derive more information from this phrase in SAP platform. You can get more entities like dates, like name, like geographical point and others, and you can do it like in a faster and smarter way in SAP compared to other platforms. Also, platform is safe because it's integrated into your SAP environment, means you don't need to have like a additional like integration and middleware bridges from, let's say, a software that is not developed by the same software provider. So in case of SAP, so the conversational AI is simply a part of the cloud platform. And if a cloud platform via cloud connector, let's say, or data provisioning, already integrated with your on-premise systems, then you can simply start using it. You don't need to think about additional security cycle. And what else SAP has, what others do not have, is a content. Well, content provided by partner, but doesn't matter, so it's still content. So content for your SAP ERP system, for your S/4HANA system or your ECC system. So currently SAP can provide you like about like 300 of already trained and configured business scenarios. That is flaggable because whatever configuration you use in your SAP system, so still objects are the same. So purchase order is still purchase order and sales order is still sales order. Of course, you have customization on top of it, but it's just additional fields. So the content that SAP has, you can just flag, tune a bit, and start using. So you don't need to build it from scratch. You don't need to think about the dialog tree or floor. You don't need to think about like a foundation tasks like get date, get amount, get currency, get name, whatever other get skills you might need to build by yourself. That's what SAP already has. And that's the biggest difference when you do an assessment, which platform should I use? Well, actually, the platform that has content, because that saves your time, that saves your money, and that definitely reduce the risk of not going live because you already like one step of going live like in a few days in a pilot phase. All right, and now I would like to tell you how, because I told you why, and now I would like to tell you how. So how to implement it, how to get it faster, and here I would like to tell like only like a few words about a company I'm representing. So it's like the name of the Skybuffer, and you will have it like on the one page. So for sure, like we are like a certified and expertise, and we have like a certified
Sergey,
SAP. Yeah.
Sergey, just hold on. So just a quick housekeeping announcement as well. So if you have any questions, please use the Q&A functionality or the chat functionality to post your questions, and someone will answer the question. So please use that as the session goes along, so that we capture all the questions and we can address all of them as well. So just wanted to share that. Naveen, you raised your hand, so please do type in your question on the chat window or in the Q&A section. Thanks. Go on,
Thank
Sergey.
you. Yeah, thank you very much. So answering the question how, so Well, currently I'm from a company that is named Skybuffer, and what we have is like a certified expertise and certified content that is integrated with SAP ERP system, either ECC or S4HANA. So how means use a content, use a platform, plug together, and get it run and get it like executable in a couple of days. So the content we have for conversational AI platform is we name it like as intelligent decision dimensions. Why we name it like this? Because every time you chat, every time you use conversational interface, you do it because you like to make a decision. So you like to get some data and decide which way to go. You like to get some work items that is spent in your decision and either approve or reject. You like to do some simple analysis and then like compare like in a simple small chart, actually like which one is like the best from like 3 vendors, let's say for one another material group. So that's why actually like whatever you do in conversational interface is like your intelligent decisions for sure that you are taking. And the content that SAP Conversational AI Platform has currently is around 300 of skills that is predefined, pre-built, and trained. And the biggest difference, even from other content that you might have, that it works in any language. So it doesn't matter which language your user speaks. So she or he can continue talking in a conversational platform, an SAP conversational platform, in her or his own language. Means if I'm using like a Belarusian, I can talk to Belarusian. Even the chatbot is trained mostly, let's say, in English or in German. It thinks in internal language, but talk in your business user language. So that's the difference. And it's not just a language support like other platform has. It's advanced language support. Means if I will tell tomorrow, either in Hindi or in Belarusian or like in Portuguese or in Chinese, platform will understand that it's like June 20th. And that none other platform will provide you such pleasure to talk to your local language, not only English. Of course, all of us talk English, but ask your employees, ask your customers, ask your business partners which language they use in charts. And look, many of them will tell that for sure we do use English. So, and that's what SAP platform can provide you, like advanced capabilities for any language your business user speaks. How you can access, so how you can get this conversational experience. So it's many ways how you can communicate with each other, and it's many ways how you can communicate with your SAP systems to get data from your SAP on-premise system via conversational platform from SAP. So all actually messaging platform you use can be in one click integrated with SAP Conversational AI Platform. Means if you use like Skype for Business, you still can have like SAP as one of the account in your Skype for Business application that you use like in your enterprise. Means you can chat to SAP, say hi SAP, and then like ask about like, I don't know, I'm sick today, I would like to have a leave request. In case you're using Fiori and you like to have a digital assistant sitting close to you, so you can integrate it like directly in the Fiori using like a single sign-on as well. Even for Fiori on-premise, it doesn't matter, so single sign-on works well. So that's how you can boost your Fiori experience. Because if you have 10 Fiori applications, that's okay. Your business user understand how to use them, but if you have like a 50 or 100 of them with a big implementation, with a high volume of usage of SAP, so such kind of digital assistant that is sitting close to you and working together with you in Fiori or Launchpad, for instance, it definitely speed up your productivity. You can even put it on your website for your customer support, because that's what SAP platform provides as well. So a nice, safe, fast, and robust integration with like any website via like a simple JavaScript, like application that is a part of the platform as well. In case you do like your Android development, or your iOS development. So you can also integrate with Conversational AI Platform. You don't even need to have an SDK. You can plug Conversational AI Platform directly, and you have like a steering API to steer your chat window. So that's what we need as well. So any kind of communication, either from your custom mobile app, either from your website, SharePoint, your Fiori Launchpad is possible, and for sure all messaging platform. So that's what like common things that all AI conversational AI platforms support messaging platform. But what was a non-common, SAP supports everything else as well. Live demo. I think let's move to the demo, and then you will have more questions, and we can then a little bit like discuss like further steps and how you can see it actually, and what is like a strategy in SAP. So for the live demo, so what I will use like a public. I still not showing you the platform, and that's like a good reason. So because like you can do it by yourself, you can log in and see the platform. Maybe half of you already did it. So what I will show you, so I will show you like an online portal, online like let's say website where you can try it by yourself. So you can try some skills available. Underneath you have like an SAP Fiori, local Fiori Launchpad, and you have conversational AI platform from SAP and pre-trained content, like a few scenarios, different line of businesses. So more of them you can see on a website, but this one you can try online. So for instance, what I can do. So that's like a Fiori login, and let's say I would like to log in, but my user is locked. So then I don't know what to do. So I can create like a support ticket. We know it will never be fast. Even if you call the first line, it will never be fast. It will take you half an hour. You'll have a disruption. So what I will try to show now is that even like sitting here, integrated to your Launchpad in case you don't know, in case you don't use like single sign-on. So you can easily unlock your user. In case your policies, of course, any companies like allows to do it, and that will be checked like in a backend in an ABAP backend. So, and to show you like a multilingual support, so I will try to unlock my user using Hindi. Sorry, I'm using translation, so you understand why. However, let's see, because I think you can read it, so I can read it Belarusian and Polish. So for instance, you can read Hindi. So let's try to do it on your local language. Imagine that a user is sitting somewhere in your local premises and say, okay, I locked my user. I tried several times. I couldn't log in. So then you explain that your user is locked and it asks your SAP user ID. You can provide your user ID, or you can say that like, I don't remember. So then you will be asked for email, let's say, or your mobile phone number if master data is managed in SAP system, for instance, or in external identity providers that is also integrated with the cloud platform. So here I provide like I provide like a user ID because I know it. I tried several times and it's still, it's still locked. And now it asks me, so whether your user ID is like this, because I might do some typos. And here you need to be emotional, because that's another advantage of SAP platform. You don't expect your business user always say yes and no. They're very smart. They will say absolutely yes, yes it is. It's so fine. They can do even plus because they're chatting in the messages so often, and then they can put a plus button, and that's emotionally positive. So we actually in SAP we do not analyze like what you are typing. We analyze the memory of a conversation. We analyze your emotional. Let's say behavior in the chat, and then we decide, should we continue actually, or should we try to find out another topic to talk? So it's not so straightforward like usual, and that's why it's a humanized. And now we understand, so we need to authenticate you. We can either use SMS or email. So you can choose like an email, and then it's like immediate code, like all enterprise solutions are doing. So you request like to have authentication, so then your code is sent into you, and that's like an email I using right now, and that's like code that is simply arriving here. So it just arrived. So then I will use this code and return back to the message and provide the code. So now I authenticated that I definitely like the same user ID that I mentioned in the chat, and it's still in your local language. And I will explain a little bit earlier. So you can see, so now it's all set, so and user is unlocked, and we can log into Fiori. So we can try that it's unlocked now. So, and I will show you like that it definitely been locked and unlocked by AI solution. Yep. So now I can log in. So and I'm logging in into the my Fiori applications, and then again I have an access. And my assistant is still sitting together with me and following me. And here, if I will say hi, for instance, using like another language, so it will execute single sign-on, and it will say like hi, well, who I am now, probably Hana approver. So it will say Hana. So it will, it will definitely like check my user, check my authorization, authentication. So it will say hi to me, and that's how integration between cloud platform works as well. So replies from the platform in your local language. So probably when you read now, so what platform replied back in Hindi, you can say, well, it's a kind of like a machine Hindi. Might be. However, what platform allows you to do, so for only those skills where you can feel that it's a little bit like a bad translation on the fly, you can predefine phrases in your local languages. So like user said, like it's fine, I go to service, but it talks not like not like a humanized conversation. Then it's fine. You can jump into the platform and say, this message I would like to hardcode to adjust, and then this message is all the same. It's a correct message, and you can influence how chatbot replies in one or another language. Of course, you can pre-configure it like all like a chatbot like in 100 languages, and for sure that's the future. However, even now, if someone like in a company will come and start talking Portuguese, so it will definitely reply back. So that's the biggest advantage we achieved. All right, so let's see another demo. So let's try it now in English, and yeah, so see how it works in integrated way. So for instance, I can say like something is not working, and I would like to have like a malfunction report. And you can see I made a typo, and it's not because I can't write, so because I would like to make it. So and once making a typo, so you can see that the platform, so the chatbot understands you very well. So that's a kind of NLP, like a fast and smart NLP that I mentioned. So it can understand typos and can understand like order of the worlds. It can understand like entities very well. So and you can say details what is not working, and you can say like no light in room 512, for instance. And then I try to get some more parameters, like grab like maybe more information. You can say what is like a functional location. You can say no. You can say yeah, I'm like in a headquarters, so that's like a location where I am currently. Because like you can have like a different buildings, so it can have like the same room 512. So then like where to run. And here you can say like yes, you can say plus, you can say correct. So you need to be emotionally positive, doesn't matter what you are telling. And then I say what is the equipment idea, and you can say I don't have tag. So means you just like take an equipment, you have a look, so no tag here, you can't provide, you express yourself. Don't let's say, don't try to follow like a conversation, like a predefined conversation. So you just talk, you just chat, and then you can see, okay, so everything is done. And then malfunction report is created in SAP immediately. So if you go to SAP, right, so let's open it. If you go to SAP, so you will see that like, that malfunction is there, and you definitely can let's see, and you definitely like can have like a workflow even attached to this malfunction report, and like a breakdown department is notified. So you see like no light in room 501, and the same like a functional location. So it's like simple M2 notification, and it's not only M2. So as I said, like a 300 of scenarios, you can have a status of purchase order, like a sales order, whatever else, like a list of your like operations for today if you're like doing an inspection round. Or if you like measure the temperature, you can say, okay, I would like to keep this like a create measuring document in SAP. So that's the kind of scenarios like you can execute. So we can show even more like I plan to show like a leave request, but let's move forward. So because we have some nice things to show as well, and time is really flying fast. So what next? So actually what I need to do this implementation. So that's like always we have these questions once we are doing demo. So it means like let's say I would like to have conversational. I would like to have a chatbot in my organization. Should I have like a data scientist? Should I have like AI experts? What should I do in SAP? Is it like in new web services? No, it's still ABAP. What do you need to do? You just need to, of course, if you have integration with SAP, so then it's still ABAP. So the platform is simple enough for a business. The content you have, it's all on a platform. So you have like a pre-trained intents, you have like a pre-built skills, like serving like 300 scenarios. So you need to have roughly like a 500 of skills organized in the skills groups, following the same methodology, so following the same concept. Nothing is messed up together, nothing is like merged. So everything is encapsulated, like using the methodology from SAP and from us as a partner. So you can create your unified, integrated, means one chatbot, just like adding in new skill groups like bricks of Lego. So if you need some custom, you put it in, and everything is work centrally and integrated using like a framework, using a get skills, and using a concept that allows you to easily build the skills. And the concept is very simple. You see, you have a trigger function like falling back and input. So that's what we have. And you can see that even business or even consultants, so the onboarding, the regular onboarding we have is like one week. So we never spend more time, because it's like very easy. You explain like what you should analyze in the memory. You see the difference, not in the user input, in the memory, because user input is just a small trigger. And if you will provide an answer only based on the user input, then it will be like a regular chatbot. We are not talking about chatbots yet. So we are talking about conversational user experience. So here's the power of SAP. You have memory. It can remember, you can steer what I loved actually to do in this chatbot in a different even communication channels. Means the same chatbot can behave different on Alexa, or it can behave different on Skybuffer for Business, or even on your website. You can easily tick which skills should be active in which channel. Means you don't need to have chatbot for vendors, chatbot for voice channel, chatbot for your employees. It's only one, but you tell which skills active in which channel and which systems are accessible. That's you can do in the platform, and everything is controlled by memory. And the same in action. So you see, so it's very simple. Well, main languages, other languages will be used by Translation Hub, that is a part of the platform as well. So, and then you can manage all of the things. And it's absolutely not complicated. Analyze requirements, provide an answer. So it's very easy, and it's ready for the business, and with very good analysis. So you can monitor whatever your actually employees are doing. You can get this analysis of phrases. You can actually get you can actually get like metrics, like to see like what was the consumption, so which skills were executed, so how many conversations you had, so what are the main like intents that were like triggers on conversations, which skills. You can see like user management actually is like the main skills here, and some other skills. And for sure you can have like a better analysis, like a map analysis, and you can download it in a CSV file, and then you can see like, okay, so what intents or what skills were triggered, how many times, and what your users use mostly, and where you definitely have gaps, so then you can tune the training a bit. So that's what platform provides you. So means onboarding on the platform is really 1 week. Whatever you have in SAP is simple ABAP classes. So you don't need to have all data specialist or like new API services specialist. Integration by central or data service with SAP systems, then you have like a simple expertise that you already use in a company like ABAP guys. So they will either use like a predefined like a 300 of skills as ABAP classes already, or create a new one using like interfaces. So usually, based on our experience, so usually we can produce like up to 5 skills using like a 2 or 3 persons per week. That is quite a lot actually. So you can imagine if you have like a small change, like a new skill requested by business, it's not months, it's just like a 1 week, including like UAT and training of the business users and getting an acceptance. So that's how fast it is and how flexible it is, and you don't need to grow like actually a new expertise. So you have it in-house, you can reuse it. All right, so platform we just saw, ABAP classes, I will not show you, it's boring a bit. So it's the same screen actually. So what I will show you now, so you can also speak to SAP, and you can speak like using different channels. You can use like machine learning from SAP, like a text-to-speech and speech-to-text, if you like to integrate it in your like specific application, for instance, and get an access directly to AI, so artificial intelligence, like a chatbot that you have on the platform. Well, for the common cases, for the demo cases, I will use like Alexa device. It's quite convenient to show the demos. And we also have like usually like implementation using Alexa channel for malfunction reports. It's like a self-service point where everyone can come and say, okay, I can see something is breaking down, and I would like to create like empty notification. So you saw how we can do it like in the chat. So let's try to do it like using Alexa. I will use my mobile phone for authentication, because it will send me like a code via SMS. It needs to understand who is talking, and then I will verify myself, and then like M2 will be created. So let's see it like in a voice-enabled channel. Alexa, ask superhero to fix it.
Sure. What is not working?
There is no light in room 122.
Can I have your phone number, please?
900-69983.
Let me make sure. You are Sarhate Kanenka, aren't you?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Sarhate. I've texted you an SMS with a validation code. Please tell me the digits. Thank you.
943760.
All set. Your ID is proved valid. Sorry, I tried to get the order details, but SAP reported an error. Error reading the order 3 in the document table. Sure. I have created report 140475 and Mrs. Fiona Rhodes is notified and looking for the person to fix it.
Thank you.
Pleased to have been useful for you.
Stop.
Got it. Bye.
So what happened now? So you can see that for the same location, for the same room, we just created already a notification like in a system, and it's created like automatically like a breakdown order. So what it tried to do in SAP, it's tried to get everything into one order, but well, based on my authorization of this user, it was not possible. So however, notification is still created. And so breakdown department is notified. So and they might attach it like into one order. So you can see like SAP actually works like it should. Your user authorization is analyzed, so like regular user does not allow actually to do any changes to your work orders if it's like created like in the release. However, the goal was to capture malfunction, and malfunction was captured. So that's like a voice enabled channel, and you can check like credit limits, you can create a sales order, you can create a purchase order, you can create like a sick leave request, either using your Hadot, either using your mobile device, but you can even talk, or you can call, for instance, and report your progress on like a work order operations. That also like we have this kind of pilot implementation where we moved out from like a physical person listening to you on a phone, but like a Alexa or inbuilt voice enabled channel getting your work order operation progress. So that's like a voice enabled channel. That's how you can use it. That you can see how it works. Quite actually robust from like noise cancellation. So we have like an installation inside like petroleum, actually like refinery premises where it's quite noisy. So, but this devices works well, or you can use like other devices as well, not necessarily from Amazon. All right, so you saw like a voice enabled channel, and few words about like a strategies. So of course, you know, you heard, you've seen, probably you used like a Copilot from SAP before, or at least you read about it, and you know that that is like a digital assistant for S/4HANA, and I think next it will be like a wider use digital assistant, not only for S/4HANA on premises. So how it is aligned with Copilot. So you can see even the colors are the same, yeah? So conversational AI is like a one-click integrated with a Copilot. So Copilot is like a kind of like a Fiori component with like a digital assistant features, and you can integrate conversational AI content directly to to Copilot. Then you can talk via Copilot to the same chatbot with no changes. So whatever chatbot you have currently up and running on conversational AI platform, this chatbot will be accessible via Copilot as well, but Copilot will do some validation of answers of this chatbot. So it's like even additional features, advanced features that it will evaluate. So whether chatbot like provide like information or like replies with a good confidence, or maybe you can use like other, let's say, chatbot solutions that you have. So because you can plug them all like from even like different implementations, or you can use even internal Copilot content that might have better confidence than your chatbot. So that's what Copilot can provide you as additional capabilities. But we are not talking about Copilot now. So I'm just like to say that SAP conversational AI content or platform or development you're doing on a platform is one click integrated with Copilot. So then it's accessible and it will work the same way how you used to use it, for instance, like in the Fiori Launchpad, if you do like a kind of web chat integration that you saw today during the live demo. All right, where you can try it. So you, well, first of all, for sure, like on SAP, like conversational AI platform site, it's like lots of documentation, guidelines, samples, how you can create like easy chatbot to try yourself to see that actually like a part of part that you have in conversation AI platform is easy. In case you'd like to try content, so you can go to our website. So it's always online, like I showed you, different languages. So you can request user creation, for instance, and start working, getting like some, let's say, first impressions of how you can create lead requests, like malfunction reports, travel requests, yeah, whatever else, like do some user management. So maybe like get some financial skills enabled. So, and yeah, so that's what you can try by yourself. You can see like how it works, like not only in English but in other languages as well. All right, that's what I have. So thank you very much, and I saved 15 minutes for discussions as usual.
Great, Sergey. So thank you so much. It was a very comprehensive session. I know there were a lot of topics and new ones at that, but very well covered by you in terms of the use of, or the need today of having a conversational AI platform in any enterprise, like I also alluded to in the start of the presentation. It's no more a good to have platform. It is a need of the hour, because we see that the employees, the customers, the partners, the suppliers, all the stakeholders in a company actually need such a conversational experience, because that's the way we typically want to do business these days. So thanks a lot for that. And we also saw some scenarios in terms of possible scenarios that we are seeing and our customers are also adopting, which are primarily in terms of employees interacting with the bot for the leaves and other things.
So
on the policy documents, and then on the
yeah, so there are a few questions that maybe we can start answering.
Sure.
Maybe you can go through one of them. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I in that context only, I'm just coming to the questions as well. So in terms of the use cases, we saw the employee use case, the plant maintenance, etc. And of course, it is up to the use cases that we can devise. There's a few questions in the chat bot as well as on the Q&A. Some of those I have answered already. And if there is any follow-up question, please let us know. There's a couple of open questions where, Sergey, I need your help. One is about supporting the regional Indian language, like Bengali or Odia. So just talk about any other regional Indian language. Does it support?
Well, we actually support our platform support almost all languages. Like Bengali definitely supported, like Hindi supported. Like whether regional languages supported, we need to check, because well, underneath like in the real-time translation, so we have like a translation hub connected for sure. From SAP, well, if you have like already translation hub and use like maybe from non-SAP, so it can also be plugged in. So if you use like a Google HTML, no issues, you can plug it in. So no need to move like to another like a translation platform, for instance. But whether all languages are supported, so probably most of the regional languages supported, like like Tamil, Pingin, so thank you, Tamil, definitely. So, but yes, we need to check. So main definitely supported.
We saw Hindi working really well, so I think it needs to be checked for one of these regional languages. But I think if the similar integration pattern using the translation hub will be required in this case as well. So if there is a rich dictionary for translation, I think from a technical perspective, it's not a challenge.
Yeah,
okay.
And even how tight it is integrated. So I mean, so you even can't see like that it's like going to translation hub or like going to the platform. So and even platform decide when to go to the translation hub. So it's really smart. So it's not like like a technical cool like a I don't know, like hundreds of lines of code underneath. It's very simple.
Yep. Okay, so I see some more questions coming in. I'll just quickly address those. One question from Naveen is Copilot and conversational platform same? If not the same, then what's the difference?
Well, they are not the same. So, and because Copilot is like a Fiori component. So it's like a part of Fiori 3, and it's like a component and a platform inside it that allows you to create like a micro Fiori applications and get an access to these micro Fiori applications using some intents as a triggers in the form of the digital assistant. Also, you can involve your, let's say, colleagues and share this information with your colleagues if they are authorized to see it. So you can prepare some chat information to your colleagues and invite them to this chat. And additionally, you can use like a conversational AI chatbots that are implemented on SAP platform that are integrated in a one click and get some assistance from them. So Copilot is like a wide Fiori component. It's like a digital assistant. You have like a chatbot, you have your colleagues, you have micro Fiori applications, and you can bundle and actually like mash them up together. And conversational AI is like one of the piece of this like a puzzle that allows you to do like a direct communication with like a digital assistant.
And I just add a couple of things there. So in terms of the background, where it comes from. So Copilot actually was launched along with S4HANA. And of course, we are expanding it to other versions of ERP as well, but primarily launched for S4HANA and acts more as a digital assistant. You ask it to do something and it fetches the information. While the conversational AI provides a broader platform for you to devise the use cases, for you to build the dictionary and the entities and the context, etc. And it can be expanded to any use case, SAP or non-SAP. So and what we have done is we have brought both the platforms together, and there's a clear roadmap of the Copilot and conversational AI merging into one platform, thereby giving a unified experience to our customers. Okay, so I hope that answers the question. If not, please share your follow-up question as well on the chat window or Q&A. Now, the next question is, if a user asks the bot to create a transaction, will the bot check the authorization?
Yes, it will. So, and that's how it works. It's actually very intuitive. So I will just like show you one example, and you will understand so how it's possible. Well, many ways you can implement it. I'm talking only about the content now. So that's the content. Actually, like hundreds of classes that are predefined and pre-built. And let's say, so I would like to create like a malfunction report. So just like to be in the same way of communication. So what you have usually, so it's like two interfaces, one for authorization check and another one for operation execution. So authorization check, so again, if we're talking about the content, it's predefined. If you are not talking about the content, you can develop it. So what we predefine, the same authorization check as it is in a transaction. So it checks authorization, and in case like it's not authorized, it says, sorry, I can't do it, I'm not authorized. After this, once authorization check passed, you can have like a run operations. So in run operation, just simply like use the APIs, function models, or BAPIs to get an information structured and return back to the conversation. So what you can see now, so you don't have anything else, but like if you are ABAP and a small pieces of framework, like you read data from chatbot memory, that's what I said, like not a parameter, but memory. It's like a set of variables in ABAP. And once you like get some information from SAP and pass authorization check, you influence on the variable and then return memory back to the chatbot. So then once like a chatbot like start getting some information inside a memory and provide an answer. You don't push it directly to the chat. So everything you do, you manage variables, like external variables that is a kind of memory of a chatbot in your app, as I said. So that's why from skills perspective, it's very easy. So an authorization check is there for sure. Why we need to have implemented it like as a separate method? Because chatbot is talking on behalf of the business user, known the business user. Because we made our authentication. So the business user is known. We know the user ID, let's say, or like identity ID in case we use like Office 365, for instance, as identity provider, and we check against this like identity, whether the user is authorized to get an answer to this question.
Thanks, Nitish. There is a follow-up question around the same topic by Arun. So he says, let's take a case, an external business partner wants to place a sales order using bot. Do we need to create a SAP ID for the business partner as well?
No, because it's indirect SAP use. So you can use like an indirect use license.
Yeah, so it needs to be licensed in one form or other. It can be used as a document-based licensing.
Yep, exactly.
So if Arun, if you are using documents-based licensing, then this is possible. If you are not using documents-based licensing, this will be considered as a access of or use of SAP functionality. So that means that the business partner needs an SAP ID. So Nitish, there's a question around Google Translate API in the background of the chat.
Yes, let's address that and then let's address the security question. So are you using Google Translate API in the background? And I think specifically this question was in the context of Hindi.
Well, we use like a different translation providers in our content that can be integrated to the platform. So one is like SAP Translation Hub, another one is like a Google AutoML. We also can use Yahoo and Yandex, for instance. What is translated? So that's the main thing. So what is translated? So definitely what user speaks to chatbot, because we need to translate and understand the entities, and we need to understand like intents and like derive some information. However, what reply is coming from SAP, not necessary to translate, because there you can predefine like text templates on the platform on your language, and once like a source language is detected, let's say Hindi, so the incoming utterance is translated, but information that you get from SAP, you could avoid like sending it to Translation Hub or to Google or to like a Yandex, for instance, but you can directly push it into the chat because this pieces is pre-translated. And it's about like a 300 or 400 phrases only. So we have this like a flat file, like a list in English, and skills you just translated in Hindi, upload to the platform, and then all replies are acting directly while like getting them from the platform and sending it to user. So it means you can avoid a case when you send your SAP data to Translation Hub.
Question, Sergey, is about what are the inbuilt security features so that data is not compromised?
Well, it depends how you implement it. So I can say so, but I can show you like some sample of implementation we usually do. So like internal like security features. So the landscape looks the same like you used to use it. So you have like your on-premise system, you have like SAP Cloud Connector, and you have like a pieces of SAP Cloud, or let's say entities of SAP Cloud. That might be like a Cloud Foundry and conversational AI. So everything running in a big SAP Cloud. So it means you have like a Cloud Connector as a door that is opened to your like account with SAP Cloud Platform. So that's like from security perspective, it's like nothing new, no new doors, let's say, opened. And in case you can't or you don't have this like ability from security perspective to directly plug your ERP system to Cloud Connector, so that's like a common again implementation from SAP. You can have like a gateway in between. So you can have like your ERPs and DMZ where you put a gateway and then gateway access cloud platform, and all communication between conversational AI in our cases, in our content cases that I'm showing, is happening using only one OData service, because I saw like information how you plug OData. So we plug only one central OData because we don't need to execute like a library of OData services. Once you execute like different OData, you have different entity sets. You need to process them, you need to program them in the Node.js. We avoid it. So the Node.js is like unified. It acts as a middleware that take like a memory, like a set of variables, a cloud of variables from your current conversation, sent to SAP via one centralized OData service. SAP works with those variables like a common external variables, read data, update data in those variables, and via this common OData rail, you return memory back to the certain conversation. So then it is flagged. So that's from security. So it's everything and everything happening on SAP Cloud Platform. Yep. So hope I answered the question.
So I think I'll just add, and maybe you touched upon it already, is that any data that actually crosses SAP's firewall on-prem SAP has to go through the Cloud Connector and Secure Tunnel. So that's how the data is being transmitted on the cloud platform. So it is the security is being taken care of by the combination of the Cloud Connector and the Secure Tunnel through which the data is being transmitted.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So one more question is on the integration aspect, is about, does it integrate with SAP multi-channel foundation in backend ECC?
That's what you can see on the screen. Yes, we have this like a multi-channel foundation, like a Cloud Foundry, if I understood it correctly. Actually, that's like a nice option because that usually like plays a kind of like a role of like a middleware. So because you have like a simple Node.js application that serve your conversation data and your like SAP replies back, you don't need to program it. So you just like activate it. So this application is connected directly to the platform. But here you can use like a Cloud Foundry. So actually, even in this demo, I use like a Cloud Foundry. I can show you how it is plugged in. So it's very easy. So you just have like a Cloud Foundry for your account that is here, and then you plug it in into the bot builder, and then take like your conversation via this Cloud Foundry, route to a Cloud Connector door, and then Cloud Connector door is opened, and then you have this conversation data in your SAP system, update, and using the same door, you like send it back to conversation.
Right. Can this bot be used on mobile?
Pardon?
Can this bot be used on a mobile phone?
Oh, yep, sure. It can be used on mobile phones. A very simple case. No need to do any development. So the very simple case, you have like a Fury Launchpad, like a local Fury Launchpad, let's assume, and then you have like your chatbot. So what you do, so you just like start a Fury Launchpad, and then you have this chatbot here. No development. Another thing. So if in case you have your like in case you use like a Skybuffer business, for instance, like lots of us are using. So what you can do, so you can say, okay, so that's my chatbot. So here I use like a standard connectivity actually from Microsoft. It's like a standard bot connector. So and then you can say hi. So then it's available in your Skybuffer business, means it's available on your mobile device as well. In case you have your let's say Android or like iOS application, and you can say SSO is working here. Yeah? In case you have like Android or iOS applications that you develop by yourself, like in-house development, you can use the same actually what I showed on Fury client, the same like JavaScript-based integration, because you have APIs that allows you to steer this integration. You don't use SDK, you use APIs, so that's a different, but it's even easier.
So Nitish, I have a question. How long does it take if we start an engagement? Let's say tomorrow, if as a customer, if I want to start exploring this tool and want to go live with a conversational AI on a particular use case scenario, from where we are today to going live, how long would that period be? Number one, and what kind of skill sets do we need in order to do that? Number two, and from a signing up of the product itself, is that online, and is that part of the cloud platform enterprise agreement? So maybe if you can just add a little bit of information there so that people know what the next steps are.
Sure, Mukesh. So, I mean, Sergey can explain, share his experience of multiple implementations he has done, but typically the scope is dependent on the complexity of the use case. But we're talking about days here. We're talking about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks here, not months of implementation. That's
Exactly.
how easy it is with the content that Skybuffer team has created on the conversational AI platform. Now, in terms of licensing as well, it is a part of SAP Cloud Platform Service. So one can choose only the conversational AI, which is metered on the basis of number of chats in a month, or what we provide today to our customers is a broader enterprise licensing for anything under SAP Cloud Platform. We call it Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement. So customers can actually use any service on the cloud platform, be it conversational AI, machine learning, mobility, to name a few. There are some 80 plus services there. And this gives them a lot of flexibility to try on a lot of innovation use cases. And conversational AI also is a part of that.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can see like on my screen, so lots of line of businesses, predefine skills, like a small atomic skills or scenarios that you can plug in together. Means you can just like design a floor. And if you have like some, let's say, questions how it works, we have like a GIF animations. You can see like how this like a particular skill is working, and then you can imagine like the floor of your information request between your business user and AI. And also, if you're curious about like optimization checks, so we also mentioned like an objects that are checked in this like particular conversation. Yeah.
I've just pasted a link for conversational AI, which is a part of our cloud platform website itself. I would request the participants to spend some time there. It talks about the use case, it talks about the capability of the service, but more importantly, how some customers have adopted it. And we have also created blueprint document on how the entire approach towards building the conversational AI platform was done for one of our customers. So I'd encourage you to read that. And coupled with that, the website that Skybuffer team has created for you to try out multiple scenarios, that also we can share maybe subsequent to this.
Yep, exactly.
Is there a trial? Is there a trial system that customers can use to play around with before they can actually commit to, Nitish?
Yes. So that's the system I was talking about, Mukesh.
Okay.
Our customers can definitely try out multiple scenarios of course, in a limited manner. But yes, we do have a system to play around with.
Yeah,
Okay.
and if it's like any request like for additional scenarios, so we can also like share like more scenarios that is like let's say customized demonstration, so they can play with some business process they think they will use and then decide.
Okay. So thank you, Nitish. Thank you, Sergey. Are there any further questions? Maybe we take a minute or so to wait if there are any subsequent questions. Otherwise, thank you for a wonderful presentation, Sergey. I think
Thank you.
um, so. Let's just wait for a minute or so for any further questions. Before we conclude, all the participants, if you could just give a thumbs up, thumbs down, based on as a feedback to the presentation that you shared, that will be also very useful. Just gives us a sense of whether the content was useful or not. So if you thought that the content was useful and you would like to explore this further, give a thumbs up. If you think that maybe we could have done something better, give a thumbs down.
Real-time experience management.
Just trying to see if we can get some feedback going. That's all.
Sure. I think it was, I mean, while you're doing that, I would only say that it is just a start. I hope you got exposed to the capabilities from the SAP Cloud Platform side on the conversational AI. We only want to continue our dialogue from here. So please reach out to us through Mukesh, and we will be more than happy to engage with you for some specific scenarios that you are looking at, so that we can create some custom scenarios for you.
So we will share the recording to all the people who attended this session. You will automatically get an email, system generated email with a link to the recording. Have a look at it. If you want to share it with your colleagues, please do so. And if you have any feedback for Indus, please feel free to reply to the email, and we'll try and address any feedback that you may have subsequently, or questions that you might have subsequently as well. So looks like there are no further questions. So thanks a lot everyone for joining in, and talk to you guys sometime soon in the next session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.